It's Two Part in the Pod by HT Group, where we talk about everything automotive and lifestyle.
So I'm your host, Ken.
And I'm Jessica. So we have two amazing guests with us today, ready to share their ride through the past, present, and future in the automotive world.
But before we dive in, let's get to know our guest of the day.
Before we dive into our discussion, can we start by your introduction first, like your a little background and what you expertise in?
Hello everyone. Hi, thanks Jessica and Ken. I'm Hsing Yang and I take care of the retail for our group and as well as the distribution of batteries, the automotive batteries.
I am Dylan. Thanks for having me here. Currently I'm just a non-executive chairman of the HT Group, but I also in charge of the commercial trucks for the group business.
So just for information, Dylan is my uncle. So I don't know if you find any resemblance.
Yes, I think the face shape, yeah. Okay. So let's start with a trip down memory lane. So can you share your story with us about how you joined this industry?
I go first?
Yeah, go first.
Okay.
No.
It's hard to explain, but I think I would say I first joined the industry when about 30 years ago when my father brought
During
me
your childhood days?
my childhood days. My father brought me to the office, to our workshops and then to our warehouse. I think that was the trigger for me to come into this industry. So that I would say that is like my first experience in the industry.
So it's under your father's influence? Can I say so?
Maybe not influence, but I think it was just nice. He needed to go to office and then he brought me along.
Okay.
Yeah, so I really joined the industry when I was around 28. That's 2012.
Oh.
Around that period. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was when I joined the industry.
So is it a fun memory to you or any interesting stories?
Of course. I think I would say in the workshops, right? The scissors lift when they lift out the car, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that was the best to play with. So we will always like jack out my cousins, then my cousin will jack me out, then release me. So I think that was a very fun memory for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so want to hear more from Dylan?
For me, I think it's not so much a choice. I was born in a family. I was born to an entrepreneurial family. Since young, my dad always instilled in me that for you to achieve financial freedom, entrepreneurship is the right way. And since very young, similar to Hsing Yang, even during school holidays, I have to come to the office or
You're being
factory.
forced to come.
Yes. But it was not bad. I was paid to come.
Okay.
So
it's
I was being
rewarding.
exposed to this industry since maybe I was 12.
Okay.
So what inspired you to join this industry? Any
As I
specific
say-
reason?
Not major inspire, but I felt that this is a family business. I should be able to contribute and play a bigger role. And in the meantime, how to make this industry more attractive to other people, to younger generation to come in and join us.
I see. How about Hsing Yang? Do you have anything?
I think maybe not anything, but if you ask me if someone really inspired me to come, I think definitely is my grandfather.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
From young, I stayed with my grandfather.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that was then a lot of, I would say, values. I mean, it's not just the business itself, right? Sometimes the values that he can portray even at home when he talks about his business and all that. So definitely he's the one that inspired me to come back to the family business. And of course, my father, my uncles were all in the business, right? I mean, you can see they work very hard and they play very hard, right? And I think that's what I aspire to play. So when we have family time, right, it's really we play like crazy.
Yeah.
So
But
I
for
think
work,
that's
we go for a very
Correct.
professional way.
correct,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. When we're working, right, then we go for really focus on work and all that. So I think as a whole, the family inspired me to come back into this industry.
Which year did you join HT? Is it
2012,
right?
end of 2012.
Okay. How about Dylan?
I joined in 1993.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So it has
I
been
Sorry, 1995. So,
Oh, so
1995.
about 30 years?
yeah,
Right.
more than 30
Oh.
years.
More than 30 years.
More than 30 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Long story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Many
A long
memories.
journey also. Yeah.
You have been in this industry for 30 years, so I bet you have been going through different kind of changes and stages. So could you please share with us how the industry looked like
At
back
the beginning.
then?
Yeah.
When you first started.
Oh, when I first started, it was much simpler because we have the national car policy.
Mm-hmm.
See, we've been promoting our own big car like Protons and Pearl Duo. We dominated 70% of the market shares in the car industry. So back then, you will see we have very little SKU, different models.
Yeah.
It's just a few models, Toyota, maybe Mercedes and BM are very, very small numbers in the market. So majority is the national car. So if you have the right products for the national car, you are there. So it was much simpler, I would say.
And the cars is actually not that much bit compared to now, right? And it's not everyone are affordable to have a car at home during that era, right?
After the national car policy, the car population in Malaysia grew tremendously, double digit. At one point, it's like growing 20 to 30%. So the volume was quite significant increase in the industry.
So how about Hsing Yang? So you joined in 2012. So
2012, I think it was still, especially the aftermarket maintenance and service, right, was very traditional. Information was very, very hard to find. I think that time I still remember after attending a few trainings with the suppliers, right, I thought I was expert in the industry. Then after that, I realized when social media and the digital world started, like people get more access, right, really get access to this information, right, I realized actually it's very simple information, but it's now available online. So that was, I think, the biggest difference between then and now.
Okay.
Many times when you go to a workshop, right, the workshop will tell you, no, this is this much. They won't tell you what is happening. But now I think consumers know
Better.
and they will question our people and say, what exactly are you doing? And how much is it?
when you first started, what challenges do you face?
I think one of the biggest challenge was, I think, language. I've seen Malaysia, I mean, as a whole, right, has some problems with language because every time we want to translate information and trainings for our staff or to our customers as a marketing campaign, right, there wasn't a predominant language that we could use to translate that information out. So if we are sending a very strong Chinese training message, right, or the trainer is Chinese, right, the Malay and the Indian staff don't get the very accurate answers for the trainings and even for our marketing communications, right? So for me, I think that is the biggest
Language
challenge.
barrier.
I mean, even though we're all Malaysians, right? But sometimes when things needs to be translated to the details, I find it still a bit tough.
Do you face any struggles during the early stage for
No, as the market goes more and more sophisticated, and you have more and more car models, car brands. So as I said, you have more and more SKU. Even the segment of car also increases along the way. Like last time, you don't have something like you call MPV. Vans means van. And then later you have like SUV. Yeah. But at the point of time, all this part and parcel of the business. But I think at my point, what's more important, and we were trying to bring branding. HD Group back then was Hawk Tire as a dominant branding in this automotive car industry. So we spent a lot on marketing and concept of how the retail has to be run differently from what is available in the market. That was made more and more my focal point back then when I started doing the retail for the groups. I think that was the challenge.
I think the challenge was really like last time nobody would brand a tire shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, and that was I think many years ago. Like who would have thought
Yeah, getting it viral. or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
And they don't have like a thing called franchise in the old days, right? It's like,
no.
just going for a tire shop. So
Not even
That's it.
don't even talk about franchise. Multiple outlets. It was the beginning of multiple outlets and branding, then followed by franchise.
We have been talking about the challenges. So can I ask, like, how do you tackle this kind of challenge? Like for Hsing Yang, it's about the language part, right?
Yeah.
So-
So I think what we tried to do was, I was lucky because information technology become more advanced and all that, right? So we started using videos. We actually do some of our trainings with videos, with better translation, with graphics and visual. So we could actually download some pictures or videos to guide our staff to improve. So sometimes if by talking or telling you it's difficult, right? We send you visuals to let you understand what we're trying to portray. So I think that helped. I think so basically we really use technology to overcome the challenges that we face. Yeah. So I think this is part of our DNA in our company, trying to use technology to improve our daily lives.
Yeah. So how about Dylan? Do you have any inputs for how do you tackle
I
this?
think I'm the first person who bought a computer in this company.
Ah,
And I have to teach
Laptop, I think.
No, computer. Yeah. Just don't even have laptop in the office. So, and I have to send all the staff from the retail, especially the counter staff, for computer training because we are moving to computerization, digital back then. And in terms of marketing, also back then it's not so sophisticated. We only had flyers, newspapers, and because predominantly we are in GB, Johor Bahru or Johor sort of area, so leaflets is more cost effective than advertising in the newspaper. And we do a lot of more exhibition, roadshow.
Well, roadshows are fun, if you ask me. When I was young, right? When I was young, I would join the roadshows after school. I'll be at the malls with my uncles and cousins.
so the roadshow is actually promoting the tire shop, right? Or
Yes.
It's probably our retail store, and then we also go there. We do promotion.
And we do basically to bring our brands that we can be there as well.
okay.
So it's something like a trade show, is it? Like
No, it's a consumer
It's just-
roadshow.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
what you see at the malls.
Yeah, maybe
Oh, okay,
so
got it.
everything
Correct.
can have
okay.
some booth there and you just promote.
Right.
Okay.
I see.
I think there were so many marketing approaches back then. So like among all like the flyers, roadshows, and also like the stickers and those kind of approaches. So which one really played a big role in market your products or your tire shop?
I think the roadshows.
Okay.
Because the roadshows, we do it like in the weekends and all this, and people have a free time. And when people approach us, just like what Hsing Yang say, back then you don't have social media to enhance your knowledge in your cars. And through roadshows, we are there to answer most of the question.
Yeah.
And they don't feel obligated to buy, so they are more willing to share information with us.
I see. So now let's fast forward to today. Is it okay? So Hashtag Group has been serving for 70 years and 3 generations have joined this industry. So I would like to ask, what is the challenge? What is the comparison between the back then and now?
Okay. I think definitely competition, the landscape of competition now has heightened. There are a lot more brands, there are a lot more competitors that are doing the same thing as we are. In the past, for example, I would say if you order tires from us, it may take about 2 to 3 days to reach. Right? So now the service level is very different. I think customers' expectations are also rising. They expect the tires to be delivered within like 20-30 minutes. Yeah.
As soon as possible.
So correct, yeah. So the competition is very stiff now.
Yeah.
I think everyone wants things to be faster, cheaper, and better.
Basically, it's not only how we change during bad days. I think the dealers, they are also changing from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah, their consumer behavior is actually changing. And
Yes.
their way of thinking is so different. Yeah, so how about Dylan? What's your thoughts on this?
Of course, essentially, yeah, seems like what Hsing Yang said, the service level have increased tremendously. Yeah. I personally feels that in business, we should be a solution to our customer. So whatever that our customer has the want or needs, we should think about innovative way, be it with technology, with anything that we give them a solution, a worry-free thing.
Yeah.
That will keep your customer loyal to you.
We back up them well. So,
Yep.
So I can sum up like technology and the service is one of the significant changes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. The industry is constantly evolving. So I believe like you have been experiencing so many different kinds of stages at different periods of time. So I believe there must be one moment that really stands out to you. You feel like you are so proud of.
Actually, so fresh out from COVID, right? So we have to make a lot of decisions. I wasn't in Malaysia then, so I could make decisions, but I could not execute a lot of the decisions that I make. So I think back then, right, the managers, the team, right, was doing a great job.
Yeah.
You know, and we depended a lot on the field managers, the finance manager, the marketing manager. The marketing manager keeps up with the communication with everyone. The HR manager and the team, right, has to update everyone every single day about the status, how's everyone, the health status, you know. So I think that period was, I wouldn't say a moment, but I would say that period, right, was memorable, definitely. Yeah, how we could manage all this and you know, and really came out of, I would say we came out of COVID, right, almost though we didn't feel anything. I think it was quite an impressive feat, I would say. And really the team is that we work with done very well.
But can you know that roughly how long the duration takes for this COVID, during COVID?
It was definitely tough for the first 6 months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Seems
it's basically no activities at all. So after 6 months, at least we still have some activities coming back and all that. So I could only come back to Malaysia, I think, a year later. One good thing that came out from this COVID was we realized that we are ready. So we have always thought
We already have the infrastructure. We
Yeah.
just need to use it.
we had the infrastructure, so everyone had a laptop
Okay.
in our office. That's the first thing. We also migrated to Teams then.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of.
So it's like a seamless thing for us really.
It
We are
was-
ready.
Correct, it was quite seamless. So I think the good thing that came out was we know that we are ready. Yeah.
I mean that's great.
Because I guess we have the infrastructure, but we back then we always think that there's no need to do that.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, this is great because most of the companies, they couldn't really, prepare beforehand. So we are well prepared. So which is a good thing so that you wouldn't worry so much about how to execute the things and how to make sure everything's okay. Yeah.
I think one more thing that came out good for us was more customers are willing to do online payment for us. So we do see a shift of very traditional check writing. Some of the customers actually got used to it and went
they can
online
accept
to
the
pay.
payment.
They can accept, and also e-invoicing, which is coming up soon.
Yes.
We haven't in the forefront of the industry. We always ahead of the curve in digitalization, but sometimes because of the culture of the habits, it's quite difficult to change them or educate our customer. But somehow the COVID indirectly helped us expedite this.
Yes. So what is the milestone in your career you are particularly proud of?
Me? Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Dylan.
When we celebrated the 50th anniversary, I was quite proud that my family and business have been around for 50 years. But in my heart, it's also a little bit sad because I felt that after 50 years, we're still in the tire business. So it was a secret wishes that I hope that we can go beyond just tires. So the milestone came just before the 55th anniversary. We were authorized to be the mobile distributor for Southern Johor for Automotive. Later, 1 year, we were expanded to industrial lubricants. That also, besides exposing us to another products, also give us an opportunity to grow into another channel of sales in the industrial sector. That was really a big milestone for me in my career.
I see. Okay. Then how about Hsing Yang?
I think adding on to what Dylan said, right, I think also a proud moment I think I feel was also during COVID period.
Okay.
Actually, maybe before COVID period, we started the battery business.
Okay.
So we were small, like an infant, growing, learning the trade and all that, because it's a very different product from tires and loops that we have experience in. So fast forward, during COVID, we were appointed the distribution ship for Philippines as well. So that was one of the first project that we ventured outside of our traditional Singapore and Malaysia.
Okay.
So with that, I think the breakthrough was now we are eyeing for a bigger role, a bigger region. Yeah, we're definitely going for more countries, given the confidence that we have now that we are moving on.
We
I
break
think
through the border already.
yes, we finally broke through the border, and also in terms of product, we have also broken through into a very different product line. So I think that's one of the milestones that I really would look back.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the proudest moments. Yes. Okay, now, so we're
Interesting.
going to talk about something a little spicy. You ready?
Go for it.
Okay. So, have you ever heard of third generation curse?
I think before that, do you guys believe this or not? Like, do you guys believe that there's a third gen curse
In business?
or not?
I am second generation, so I never even thought about
It's
No problem.
Yeah.
There's a line there.
But it's interesting. I think the third generation curse, right? There is some theory and some reasons behind why there is such third generation curse. I think predominantly is because maybe the first generation was working so hard and done well, right? The second generation usually would be very defensive of the business because they want to continue the business,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So by the third generation, I think a lot of innovations or a lot of open-mindedness may be actually guarded by the second generation. So when the third generation wanted to evolve as the industry or the competition grows, right, it became very difficult for them. So I think this is what I feel. So maybe the third generation are trying to implement something new that is relevant to the industry, but maybe they were a bit more cautious and they were actually pulled back a bit by the second generation, right? So they couldn't keep up with the industry, and therefore the third generation curse. So that is what I foresee. Yeah.
So you see,
I mean, like that's what I see is happening to some businesses. Right?
I think I add on that every generation when you take over something from somebody,
yes.
there is always a baggage.
Yeah.
People are so used to certain things that
Yes.
are done. So every new leadership has to break through that baggage. sometimes just like handfuls. It's called self-cannibalization. You're so good at it that maybe you should kill it so you can move into a new platform. You see, that is why you always have a window after version 6, version 7, no more version 6. Although your version 6 is the best version, maybe version 7, version 8 may not be as good as version 6. That is something that in business you have to do that. And on top of that, what's the core value? What's the innovation part and how to balance it? It's easier to say than done, but that must have a very good, clear communication on that.
Yeah, that's what I feel as well. You see, this time round, 70 years, right? We are actually transiting from the second half generation instead of the third generation, right? Now that Dylan is the chairman, so
I'm the 2.5.
he's the 2.5 generation. So we are cautious in a way, because Dylan being the youngest, right, also has a very big age gap with my dad, who's the eldest. So the ideas may be very different if my dad has passed the baton on to Terrence or maybe someone younger, the third generation. So this is also part of how we think we move to a more cautious step, 2.5, then to 3, 3.5 to 4. I think that is one of the ideas that we have. But I think the most important, the core values that we have, right, is the communication. It has to be very, very open. I think we talk about retirement openly. We talk about transition very openly. We don't keep that and say, no, I don't want to talk about it. It's a taboo. I don't talk to my father about his time retirement. I think we are very open about it. We talk about it. We transit him to another role, to a more advisory role, or non-operations and non-commercial decisions related. So I think it's really the openness that we have in the few generations. Yeah. So this is what we hope that we can continue to bring to the next generation.
So basically, it's we work as a team and we communicate as a team, not like family members. I mean, when we are talking about business, that's the core idea.
I think so we segregate our duties. I think quite clear. So we actually work as a team, but the voice actually comes out from the person who's leading the project. So we do have our own meetings, and once the decision is made, right? So for example, if it's a retail decision. So if I have decided to do something, I will consult my board of directors how we move forward in the retail, right? Is there a rebranding or is it new products and or new investments? Once we decided, the direction and voice will only come out from me. It will be very advisory from Dylan. He will caution me what is done or what he might have seen and all that. But the final decision, I think he still give me the 100% trust to bring forward the business.
Our family business, so I always tell my brother, sister, and even my third generation that in a family business, everybody has 3 roles to play. First, you're family. You're one of the family members. Come to family members, it has a lot of hierarchy. My elder brother is more responsible to this, and second, and I have to be respectful to my elders one, and so do the third generation. We have to be more respectful to the uncle. But the second role is the business role. So if I empowered somebody to run that business, that particular unit, almost full authority has to go to them. Trust has to go to them. So for me, I have to just give them advice and guidance. That's all. And the third role, we also happens to be the shareholders. So some is minority shareholders. So you have to be fair to everybody. So that's how you can have a family business, how you can have good teamwork.
Yeah, you have to. I think one of the conversations I had with Dylan when I first came back was I couldn't manage this. Like sometimes I'm a nephew, sometimes I'm a
Yeah. You have so
employee.
many roles.
I'm like a manager. Sometimes my dad is a shareholder.
Yeah.
So my dad is a director. So if you are able to draw these three circles and know where you are at which situation,
At
right?
that time, lah. Okay.
Yeah, then you will know how to deal with it.
Mhm.
But if you are always stuck in the three circles, right, and you will never get out.
Yeah.
I mean, there are definitely moments. I think
There
everyone
are overlaps, there definitely, but it's easier that you segregate. Then you think that this is the time that I play as a family. This is the time I play as a business executive of the company
Hmm.
and a
Yes.
shareholder.
So this is actually inside every of your family members' bone really. And this like you need to tune every all the frequency.
I think
Each
that's our core value. I would say.
I think everyone has to go through that.
Mhm. Yes. So it's like what kind of challenges that you are facing right now as a third gen? So, and how do you tackle them? Just shake off this stigma.
I think the stigma, like just now I shared, was the second generation would be guarding the business, right? But we are very fortunate that the second generation has given us all the freeway to go and grow the business. So I think the challenge now for us, right, is really how do we grow the business rather than, fighting with them and say, I want to do this and you don't allow me to do this. So I don't see that. I think the biggest challenge now is how do we grow as a company and also maintain the kind of culture
Yes.
and the kind of management spirits that we have, right, to the new generations coming in. I'm not young anymore. There are more generations. And also, how do we get more professionals to come in to help this business grow? And definitely, we are hiring people that are very experienced and very professional at our level. And we're not hiring just reporting to us and all that. So we're looking for talents that really can help us grow.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest challenge is definitely keeping the culture on, and also how do we grow out of Malaysia, out of Singapore, and out of the products that we now carry.
Okay. So reach out to Hashtag if you want to
Shut up.
hear. Yeah.
Advertisement type.
Yes. And there you have it with the wrap up of our very first episode.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. We would love to hear it from you.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to join our community. Until next time,
I'm Ken.
I'm Jessica.
And remember, there are always two parts in a pod.
Safe travels, everyone.